do what I do as a realtor and live a good life and still be able to meet their clients. My clients are getting more than $100. She's like, you don't need to go to the bank. I'm the bank. You want to get an investment? I become your bank. I become your partner.
Gotcha. That's a very fortunate position to put yourself in.
Yeah. So that's what I learned. So that's all I can speak to.
What do you feel like gave you the foresight to think that way?
Traditional real estate is boring.
Okay. So it was exciting for you?
It was figuring out solutions to people's problem and being the problem solver, them meeting me, and the fact that I was able to find other things of value other than money. Like my living expenses, with inflation, like living expenses are here.
Gotcha.
People are spending, $3,000 on just keeping the roof over there. I don't have to worry about that. Like, you can give me a commission check and it's $9,000, that thing is gone.
Yeah. It really was time to get in her chest to spend this night before.
By the time you got that commission check, 9 times out of 10, most people calculate it before they actually get it, it's gone in 30 days. Because you got this to pay, you got that to pay, you got this. So now, if I say keep that 9,000, let's make the deal better, you take care of my living expenses.
So you probably like.
I won. I already won.
Yeah.
I already won. And then she still takes care of me.
Oh, so not only was it a great place for you, it was also a relationship.
Yeah, she still takes care of me. Like, she still will pay me.
That's far.
She still paid me. Because it was just off of the fact that I wasn't just focused on taking the money from her.
Yeah.
She was like, I like that. I could do business with somebody. I would forever make sure you're okay. And that's just what she does.
That's a great position to be in.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm grateful. Like, of all the pitfalls and issues I've ever ran into, that client is family. Like,
Are you from Houston?
No.
Where you from?
Upstate New York. So for me, it's all about what's important to you. Some people could care less that their living expenses are taken care of. They'd rather have the check.
Yeah. That's very short-sighted.
Yeah, I'm looking at long term. That check will be spent.
It will be spent immediately.
Yeah, the check is spent. And I just think differently. Like, she has properties in other states. So if she had something to do, things like that, like, she's like, all right, let's go. She take care of it.
I'm almost done, y'all.
They're good. But being of value more than just somebody that can go on the MLS and take somebody to show them a house. Like, that's kind of just really what it is. And a lot of realtors, they're not, I guess, trained and or surrounded by people who think bigger. A lot of people became realtors when the pandemic hit. They thought it was about putting on nice outfits and walking in nice houses and taking videos.
Is this how you like market yourself online as well?
I market.
You know what, your relationship, I wouldn't.
I literally don't market. I used to, but like I'll be bored. I don't even do that. I have so much content in my phone that just don't post on it. So everything is referral.
That's gonna stop them.
Like,
I'm building things so that you don't even have to post. I will have somebody post for you.
yeah, like I don't got the discipline for the posting part. For the
Honestly, none of us do for real. It's a whole job. When you're doing so much, it's almost impossible to also keep up with social media full time. So no judgment.
Not at all.
No, the reason I can do it is because that's like my piece of the puzzle, right? I can give out all of my business and just focus on that, so I don't have to worry about the contracts and the rigmarole and like the back and forth and driving all around town for fun. Like, I don't have to do any of that.
It's all about kind of like knowing what you're good at
Yes.
and sticking to it.
And knowing what kind of life you want.
Yeah.
Because I was really clear, like, that's not the life I want.
You are very clear. I don't want to manage nothing. Very good. I don't want to manage nothing.
Don't ask me. I don't know. Ask somebody else. Like, what I can tell you is how we're gonna make money. That's what I can tell you.
I can come up with a plan, and the execution part, leave me out of it.
It's definitely all about having a team.
Yeah. And that's kind of like where like most of my pitfalls came with. It was like, I just need to get it done if I want to do myself. If I want it done right, I gotta do it myself. That was a wrong mentality to have, and I got
But it's
burnt out.
true.
Yeah, but I got burnt out, and then I started hating real estate, and I was just like, people are just, like,
People just be people.
yeah, man, and I just was like, you know what, forget this. I just can't, and that's when I went back to work, I'm like, dang, I love this thing so much.
But there's a way. Teamwork makes the dream work.
It is, if you really got good people in your corner, it's
It's
a
doable.
beautiful thing.
It is
It's such a
doable.
beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing.
He's checking our camera angles.
Make sure all the buildings are.
Oh, my camera.
That's funny.
Yeah.
What's that look? What's it?
Yeah.
So is he gonna be asking us questions too, or are we gonna just go back and forth?
No,
Like just have a regular conversation?
You need regular
Oh, let's do it.
That's what we need to, then I'm not gonna worry about it being on the
Nephew.
background.
That was like strong.
I really, yeah. Alright.
Nephew, it's a grown nephew.
Yeah. He's the youngest of all of the siblings.
How old is the oldest?
My mom's the oldest.
Oh.
She is late 50s.
Okay.
50, give or take.
Yeah.
Record everything. Content is everything.
I'm recording on this new Google Pixel. I'm trying to see.
Please just get an iPhone.
I do. I have an iPhone and Android.
I feel like I need that too. I do like
I got both.
the camera on the Android. I do feel like they're
That's why I was just being the Google Pixel. I was like, it's the best. It's your library
content.
content.
So do you have two different phone plans?
No,
Oh, okay. Because that's the thing, like when I'm at an event or something like that and I want to have my phone with me, but I also want to be streaming live, you can't do both.
that I got two.
Yeah.
So I'm able to go ahead and.
That makes sense actually. So I will lose one of them 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, because I went to go, like, they sent me, like, they be doing, like, oh, you got a free upgrade for a free iPhone 16 on us, and I stopped in, and they're like, the 17 is about to drop in a few days if you just want to wait. And I was like, I'm so sick of them. They're like, well, we take your phone as a trade-in, and we give them, like, why you want to take my phone if I just paid for it? Like, that's not the definition of free.
That is not the definition.
So you're telling me I rented this phone for a year, paid, like, no.
Yes, that is.
So then they were like, Google will actually pay your phone off, whatever's left. You get to keep your phone, and then they give you a free phone. Sign me up. Now that is what I call free. So I got to keep my old iPhone, and they gave me the Google Pix, and then this is.
And honestly, I hate
14 Pro Max.
switching phones. I hate.
They transferred everything. Because I was like, if I have to not have something, I don't want to do it. Transferred it all, even to the Android, they were transferred. So it was easier for me. The only thing I don't like,
And I don't like being in the phone store all day.
I was in there for about an hour and a half. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, I was in there about an hour and a half. I just don't like how invasive that Google phone is. That thing, their AI is like Gemini.
Yeah.
Man, that jumped all in your business. I do not, I'm just getting used to AI. So it's kind of like everything is like pre-auto filled and starting to text you like your Google email. Like when it texts your email, it like learns all your, like everything you got. I just like, this is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And it caters to you. Like,
change.
I went and created a whole brand new Google email that had nothing to do with that. So
Yeah.
because I was like,
Okay.
yeah,
I agree with you on that. I feel like that's what I'm gonna have to start doing. Well, I do it a little bit because I have a lot of different email addresses.
Mhm.
And so like everything I'm gonna have to be really mindful about like this stuff only goes to this email.
That's
Because now when I connect my AI, I'm creating different agents that will send out emails for me and stuff
And
like
they
that.
learn from you.
Right. And so I'm like, okay.
And you learn from what you typically do. So myself, I was like, I've had this email for 20 years.
Right.
This thing will be all in my business.
Exactly.
Oh, no, I'm just making sure I'm checking myself for
Oh, I know. It's okay.
Yeah, but, so I logged out and created a whole new email strictly for phone, where it's like, they don't know nothing, except for whatever I do want. And the only thing I do on it is pictures, because I think Android pictures are fire.
They are really good. It's good for content.
So I'm like, all right, let's make the content. And then it's like the built-in AI, with their Gemini thing or whatever. It's pretty dope. It is pretty good. I'm just still getting used to AI. I don't know how to use it. Yeah. And then eventually, okay. So I need to sit up. You have better posture.
You talk about what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. You talk about what do you change?
I'm gonna change the way I say it. I'm gonna say it like this.
Yeah, I'm set up too. Sit up here looking like that man.
You want to change the recordings?
Huh?
You change the recordings?
Yes,
I got you. All right.
you ready?
Yep. Show my rolls on the show. Okay, that's much better posture.
All right.
Wait, hold on, let me see that again, can you see where this feet?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, he already knows. I was never wear real shoes.
Wait.
Very rarely do I have real shoes on. If I could just walk around in socks, probably do that.
Can I get a testing for you?
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
One more time.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
One more time.
A, B, C. I see it says 1, 2, 3. Say what's the right name? A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me now. Yes, yeah, I don't even know all the words. What did you say, David?
Let's say something one more time.
Say something one more time.
You got me?
You sound right.
I got a big mouth.
You're a New Yorker.
Yeah, I'm loud.
ABC 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Good?
Mhm.
Okay. Great, here we go.
Just got nervous.
Don't you? There's no reason to be nervous. We talk all day. Okay. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Build with Brittany. I am your host, Brittany Rose, and today we have Veneisha Brown, one of our newest members to the Women in Real Estate team at EXP. I'm so excited to have her. We're going to be talking about how you can build your career, your real estate career to the next level, and about how she's done it herself. So, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So, you've had an incredible real estate journey. Let's start there. Tell us.
Very interesting.
And you have a great, very unique perspective about real estate and how to be a successful realtor. So let's start at the beginning. How did you get started, and what's your journey been like up to now?
Okay. So I relocated from upstate New York in 2015. I did my coursing, did my studies, and worked 3 jobs to take care of myself, get through school. So once I finally passed the test, I had joined a major brokerage. Because I was so new, I think I needed more guidance, but no one told me what to look for as a new agent. So when I joined, I was excited for that, but it was like a lot of fees, and it was this and that, and I was never making any money. Then I had changed brokerages, and I went to a boutique brokerage. And that one was really where I learned a lot of ways to make money with low hanging fruit. It wasn't stressful. I met amazing agents at that brokerage. And I think that's kind of where I started to like figure out what I liked and what I didn't like at that point. I started doing a lot of rentals. Rentals became the bread and butter. Like I could close those things in my sleep. So rentals, she taught us how to get clients. So what kind of people that wants to rent. So she started teaching us like a lot of like free ways / very inexpensive ways. So yeah, we started to do that, and me and a few girls from the brokerage, we would like team up and like go and do our thing and like support each other, and like, oh, you record me and I'll record you.
Yeah.
And we just kind of teamed up. We all were fairly new. It was like the blind leading the blind, for real. But it was fun. It was like an experience. And even now to this day, like we're all just like, man, you remember it was a hot mess?
And everybody starts as a hot mess.
Yeah, man. It was like we look at it now and we're just like, ooh, somebody could have just told us.
Right.
Somebody could have just put us on and told us.
And that's an experience that I think we all have, and it's kind of like why Wire exists, right? Because we'll tell each other, like, there's an easier way, there's a better way.
These are the roadblocks I ran into. These are the things that happened to me. Not to say everybody's story is the same,
Right.
but no one told me as a new realtor what to look for in a brokerage. No one told me what to look for in an environment.
Right.
No one told me all the different aspects of real estate. No one told me everything you learned in the book. Forget it.
Yeah, the book is not
Nobody
helpful.
told me.
I will say, okay, so I've done my license in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And Texas does have the most helpful amount of information. But it's also like ridiculously long for no reason.
It's a lot. And it's like no one told me or taught me about the real life things and like how to walk through a transaction. You know, like just little things that I think now, I mean, obviously now that they're easy to us, it's kind of like we don't think about it. But as a new realtor, it's just like, what's next? Like, how do I do this? So yes, I did that for a while.
So you started kind of like with rentals and started generating some income, which is what I suggest almost anybody do. That's not feasible in every market, but here in Houston, it makes a lot of sense just to start building your pipeline and making some money. And then you've done a lot in terms of like working with investors and also working on commercial. How did you make the transition into those things?
So it wasn't like something that I think, what's the word I'm looking for? Like I intentionally did. It kind of happened with the spaces that I found myself in and the people that I found myself kind of like networking with and being around. It kind of like life took on it did its thing, and I'm grateful. How I started getting with investors it was crazy. It started from my rentals. I was touring a property for a client, and the owner didn't have a lockbox on the door, so she was like, "I'll just meet you there and open the door." So she opened the door, me and her client were touring. And after we were done, she was like, "Can I talk to you?" I'm like, "Sure." She's like, there's something about you. I like how you work. I like how you just showed my house. Like, I like how you deal with your client. What else do you do? So I'm like, honestly, just this, I mean, I'm just a realtor. I didn't know. Like, to me, it was just like, I'm a realtor. Like, it embodied whatever it needed to say. And she was just like, okay, let's chat. We started to talk, we set up the time to talk, and I learned that she had a very large portfolio. She was an investor herself. And she's like, "I'm gonna teach you." So I'm like, teach me what? Like, to me, I'm already a realtor, I know it. But I'm like, teach me what? Like, I don't know what you need to teach me. But she was like, "No, I'm gonna teach you how to work with me and how you can, make more money other than just what you're doing."
Right.
So I was like, okay. And with that was my blessing, because having somebody who's patient, who, like, you don't have to know it all as a realtor.
Right.
Like, you don't have to know it all as anything, not even just a realtor, but you don't have to know it all. And to me, it was like, okay, well, I should know these things. But no one was teaching me that. No one was telling me that.
And most of the things we learn as realtors aren't structured towards investment or building our own portfolios or working with investors. Like, that's special education that if you happen to find it, great. But it's not the bulk of any type of educational platform that we have access to, which is another reason why I focus so heavily on what are all the ways you can work with people to make money, whether you have a license or not, right? Because there are a million ways.
It definitely is.
And it sounds like for you, being active, like getting out there, generating activity and networking was what put you in the positions that you ended up being in order to get those opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me, another thing was I wasn't afraid to have conversations. You can't expect, like my mom used to always say, like a closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah.
You can't expect people to want to teach you if you're not letting them know you want to know something.
Right.
So for me, I wasn't afraid to like not know. I wasn't afraid to have a conversation. With her, we rented that house, and then come to find out, she had her portfolio was about 100 homes. So she was like, "I will make you my realtor." Okay, you know, okay. And she was like, "We'll make this deal. I make you my realtor." For my listings, we worked out like how we would do it, and she was like, "For my listings, this is what we'll list as. Like, we'll make this agreement." And then any investment property or thing she had, she's like, "You walk it with me. You do it with me." So I started to learn that way, where she started sending people to me. People would come to her. So she's like, "Oh, I have a client, or I have this," and she goes, "You take care of it." So it started that way, and then I started to get more and more intrigued. And I was just like, dang, there's a lot to real estate. Like,
There's a lot to real estate.
I would have never known, and I probably read it in the book when I learned. I don't know. But it wasn't something that was like, made me instantly intrigued, but watching how she did certain things and walking certain deals and seeing the different aspects and being in different rooms, I just was like, I like this.
Yeah.
I really like this.
I like it a lot more than working with just like residential, like just traditional home buyer. I do find it more interesting, and I think a lot of people do actually. So I know this is a lot of what we talk about in our program. So if for anybody watching, if you want to get into the details of working with investors, working with small commercial properties, things like that, you should absolutely look in the description below, because there will be a link for you to join us in just learning more about how you can build a career with investors. And tell us more about what's the difference? Because I feel like people don't understand, like, just because you're a successful realtor and you can sell a house doesn't mean you're going to be successful with an investor, because the mindset is very different.
I was about to say, the mindset is completely different. How you look at things is very different. For me, I knew that I needed to be in the investment space versus just your everyday, like, residential realtor. So even now when people go like, "Are you a realtor?" I say, "No, I'm an investment agent." And they're like, "Well, what's that?" And I'm like, "Well, I'll help your money make money." And you're like, "Tell me more." Like,
Right.
that's a conversation piece now. Versus just like, "I'm a realtor."
Yeah.
To me,
Because so many people are realtors.
Yeah.
Most people aren't doing, I would say, like, to keep your skills sharp, you need to be doing regular business, and most people aren't. I think the statistic was like 70% of agents last year didn't do any business. And so it's like, yes, you have a real estate license, but are you active? Like, are you well versed? Do you know the contracts? Do you know the negotiations? Do you understand how the market has shifted in the last just couple months?
Yeah.
Can you advise a client on that? And it's definitely a mindset thing. Working with investors, I think, is more about the numbers.
Always. It's always about the number. That's the bottom line. So like, for me, getting into like the investment space versus like, just doing regular, residential, I didn't feel excited anymore, if that makes sense. It was great at first where I'm closing, I'm, get a check, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I was no longer excited. Now, once I got, this family in their home, Yeah, you send them, your marketing here and there, all that good jazz and your Popeyes and all that good stuff, and it was no longer fun to me.
Yeah.
It got very boring. It was very, I guess, robotic, I would say. So when I started to like really, really, really look at investments, I was just like, we keep missing this every day. Like it's just every day. We complain about the construction, but I'm like, why complain about it? Something coming. This is all real estate. This is all real estate in some capacity or another. The city's not spending money for nothing.
Right.
Something's coming. So then it started to make me like inquisitive and like, okay, what's next? Now I'm starting to look things up. Now I'm like, okay, I'll go and look on the MLS or I'll go and look on like other platforms like, who's buying this area? I started looking and being like, look at the LLCs and who owns it. Like, okay, that's where the money is. I started to get inquisitive. And like I said, it's a mindset thing, and most realtors are not inquisitive. It's like if it's not on the MLS, it doesn't exist.
Right. And the best deals aren't on the MLS.
No.
Or you have to learn how to make a deal. I think that's one of the things that we're going to talk about, especially working with investors. Like, when people put things on the MLS, they're looking for highest and best, right? But if you are knowledgeable enough to negotiate, and if you're good with your follow-up, you can make a deal where there wasn't one before.
Yeah, I mean, on the MLS, like you said, it's about their highest and best, but I think what it all boils down to anything in real estate is how creative you are. Like how much your mind can really like get around this and make the deal. Like the deal is not always like, oh, you want to buy it? This is not like go back and forth on numbers.
Right.
It's just, it really is. What does this person need? What does this person need? Can I give it to them? And if I can't give it to them 100%, how close can I get to them?
Right. And in my opinion, as long as there's a desire, there's a way to make the deal work. Yeah. And so a lot of realtors will do exactly what you just said, like, oh, they want this much, they want this much, it doesn't match somehow. But there's so many ways to get creative and to make a deal work, and especially if it's off market.
Yeah, those are my absolute favorite.
So I know in your book, and by the way, the book will be linked in the description below too, but we talk about how the mindset is different between agents and investors. But what about how you've been able to convert your residential regular buyers into investors? So I think that's like the kind of linchpin that we miss sometimes. It's like everybody should be investing.
Yeah. So like I said, once again, it's more so about a mindset thing. So instead of just like, okay, this family is ready to get a house, it's their forever home, or I have somebody that wants to buy a home, it's just like, all right, strategically. No one's gonna stay in this thing forever, right? Taxes go up every year. So first and foremost, I'm thinking about my clients long term. If they're pre-approved for $400,000, we're not shopping for a house that costs $400,000.
Yeah.
I'm keeping you less than that first of all. Second of all, I'm looking at longevity. So the next 5 years that you stay in this house, will you actually be able to afford it as it goes up in price? If you can't, or if life happens, what else can we do with this house? Can you move out, rent the house, and what is the rental rate going around here? What has the rent rates done in the last 5 years? Have they gone up 100, 200? Like, what has it done? Has it been stagnant? What is Section 8 paying in this area? Like, I'm already thinking exit strategies, even for my regular home buyers. Because to me, you just buying a home that is not an asset. That is not.
Technically, it is not. It's something that you have to pay for.
Yeah,
It's
you're
not
not
something that
getting
makes you money.
anything.
Right.
So to me,
Which
it's
is
like,
why I love house hacking.
yeah, like what's next? What's
Yeah.
next for you? So that's how. So when I talk to my clients, they're like, "Oh, we want to raise our family," and I'm like, "That is wonderful." But
How can we make you money?
so then I give it to them. Okay, so for instance, let's say 5 years you guys are here. This is what I see could be possible in this home. So when I start talking like that, they're like, "We didn't even think that."
Most people don't.
We weren't even thinking that way. They're like, "Wait, I can really do that?" Like, if I live in 5 years, your equity should be here, here, and here. And most of the time, I'm coming from a perspective of new construction, certified negotiator, I am certified buyer's representative, all that. So talking to them like, hey, we bought this house in phase 1 of reconstruction. By the time phase 3 is here, the prices of these homes are gonna be almost 60 to 100,000 more than you paid off rip. So your equity is there. So imagine if you're there for 5 years. So the things you can do and how you get to utilize this home to actually make that asset, they're like, oh, really?
Yeah.
We can do that. And I'm just like, yeah, absolutely.
And what I'd love to see is more people like not upgrading their bills, right? Because people stay in a house for 5 years, for 7 years, and then will use the equity they have amassed to get a more expensive home, and probably a home that costs more in their monthly mortgage. And it's like, that's oftentimes not the right move.
Nope. So that's kind of how I started to convert my regular residential into investors, because I started to kind of like plan things. When I'm having conversations, my conversation is more than let's get a lender, let's get you approved, let's get you in this house. So the closing is taking pictures with them.
Right.
That to me was the
Right.
most boring life for me.
And that's the theme of being a legacy agent, right? We're here to create legacies for our clients, not just a bill for the rest of your life, but like really be able to capture wealth and grow it. And sometimes it's not pretty and it's not fancy and it doesn't look like the newest everything all the time, but it really shows up when you can keep your home for the next generation. And it's not in disarray, it's not falling apart, and you can use the equity in your home to pay for college for your kids, or all of those things. And by thinking through those things, and by having an investor mindset, I'm sure, like you were just saying, you're watching to see what's coming, and so you're probably placing your clients in environments where they're going to see an appreciation of equity over time, and then they're able to use that equity to build more wealth.
Absolutely, and I am proud to say none of my clients thus far in my entire career have been foreclosed on, none of the above. Like I said, we talk about exit strategies regardless of your reason for buying this house. I don't care why you're buying. Forever, dream, I don't care. You need exit strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. Because like you said, life happens, things happen.
Bingo.
And then in the course, we're going to be teaching about how to run the numbers like an investor. And I know the numbers can be really intimidating for people. What do those conversations look like with your investors, with your clients? How are you, what are some of the basic numbers that people need to be aware of? And what will we be, diving more into?
I mean, we're definitely gonna dive into that. I think that's probably what's my hardest part. Like, I think people naturally get kind of like seat squirming when we start talking about money. Like everybody squirms a little bit.
I love talking about money.
Yeah,
We're talking about math.
But it's like, I think everybody get a little seat squirmy when it's like, well, you pay me this is gonna do, like, when the money conversation comes around, I think that to me probably was my hardest.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said, no one taught me certain things. So I didn't realize the things and the way that I was approaching things was so different from other people, so I didn't know my work.
Yeah.
So I was very underpaid. Or just like, oh, it's okay, you don't have to pay me that.
Right. But when you do the job of making sure that your clients are making money, you should get paid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's something that I've struggled with too. I think a lot of people struggle with that. Because when you have a passion for people, when you love what you're doing, it's kind of like, oh, it's okay.
Yep.
But if I'm making you money, why shouldn't I get paid?
Bingo. I mean, I got more comfortable with it for sure. But definitely, like we said, like running the numbers and paying attention to things, and numbers is how the deal works.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times, and I think every investor, if they said that they didn't, I'm probably telling not telling the truth. Every investor has emotionally purchased.
Yeah. And it's our job to keep that
Yeah,
from happening, for sure.
But at the end of the day, it's about numbers. Sometimes you get kind of like, get creative and the numbers aren't working, and like, be able to move the money here, this and there. But for the most part, it is all about the numbers. It's like you make money on the front end.
Right.
When
And
the
if
deal closes, you need to make money when the deal closes.
Yes, and you have to have a bottom line. And if it's $1 over the bottom line, you have to be disciplined enough to walk away. That is hard.
That's exactly the biggest part where people are like, well, and it's just like,
don't do it.
what do you stand for? What do you stand like?
And I think it's because it takes so much work to get to the end for you to find out, oh, this doesn't quite right.
You could work on something. We worked on
Years.
where I have worked on development deals and just getting the deal closed with just the dirt
Yeah.
for probably about 3 months and it still didn't close.
Yeah.
So you work, and they're not close.
Right.
And you just have to.
You have to be disciplined enough for that to
Mhm.
be okay.
Yeah, you just gotta be okay with it. And it's hard, but at the end of the day, deals are coming every day. It's not like it's gonna dry up. You gotta have this.
Right. That's the advantage of recessions.
You know,
There's even more of them.
it's gonna come back around. It's okay.
Yeah, so patience and
Yeah.
discipline and helping our clients like master that
Mhm.
and be patient and just get through the waiting game sometimes.
But for people who are seasoned investors, yes, they know that. For the realtors that are getting started and wanting to work with investors, I think the main thing is how they show up. Like, so if you want to work with investors, you got to show up strong enough to know exactly what you're looking at, what you're looking for, what you're bringing to the table. How are you making them money and or saving them?
Yeah.
That is what they want to know. Realtors come a dime a dozen. They can wake up and there's 6 of them at the gas station. It's just like,
That's true.
what can you do? Can you save me money? Can you make me money? Are you finding me deals? Like,
Right.
what else can I use you for other than you slapping it on the MLS?
Right.
Because MLS now, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you can now put stuff on the MLS and like pay a fee if you're not like a realtor, like if you go on the MLS for like a certain fee.
I mean, you can. I think discount brokerages have always.
Yeah. So now with that, like, what do you need it for?
Right.
Open up.
I mean, for me, it's all about the marketing.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, what else would they need you for
Right.
if you're not presenting something or having something that is useful to them?
Right. And I
Time is
would
important.
say your time comes with like, can you move it faster because you're a good marketer? Do you have a network of people who want this type of product or can partner with me in some way? Can you provide introductions? Can you share your platform? Like all of those things. And I think those are all of the things that we are creating this atmosphere for especially for women here in Houston.
Yeah.
Like it works because I mean just you and me, for example. And people in our network and bringing each other deals and being able to share leads and all of those things. Like, you're right, the value is not in having your license. The value is not in being able to put it on MLS. It's all of the soft skills.
Yep. Can you pick up the phone and
Can you pick up the phone?
you know what I mean? Can you pick up the phone and somebody on the other end answer and make some shit?
Right. Or can you pick up the phone and deal with people who are very difficult to deal with? People who are going to make everybody's life a living nightmare. Can you still work with them? Can you negotiate?
Yep.
Absolutely. So the other thing that we're going to talk about is small commercial, which I'm really excited about because I hear so many people who want to get into commercial real estate.
Yeah.
And it is a whole nother beast. It's a whole nother beast. How did you make the transition?
I'm still making the transition, but when I started in leasing, which is the easiest. And again, I'm blessed that I started with people who knew that I wasn't like super well versed in it, but they knew that I knew enough of what I was doing in my lane, that they knew and trusted that I'm gonna go ask for help and I'm gonna get the resources. So to them, it's just like, I know you're learning it, but guess what? I know you can go get it.
Right.
Like, I trust you enough to tell me when, hey, I can't do this part, I gotta find this resource, you know what I mean? And with that, I was able to like do some commercial deals, and I was just like, man, they were patient, and they offered their resources. Like, I don't honestly have the time or the desire, and I'd rather just do
A
it.
lot of people will be like, look, I don't want to deal with this.
Mhm.
Can you figure it out? And that's what it's about. That's one of those mindset things. It's like having the ability to have the desire, I guess. I don't know, having the ability and the desire to figure things out.
Honestly, that's really what it boils down to. Like, do you care enough to ask for help? You know what I mean? Are you bold enough? And are you surrounded by people who actually believe in what you're doing? Or are you trying to prove something?
But for real, we have CRE circle every month. We have people who are all kind of making those transitions together. We have a sister team here in Houston that works nothing but commercial. So it is about finding people who are going to surround you and bridge the gap. And and especially here in Texas, they're very big on like staying in your lane, doing deals that you've done before. And so if you don't have a mentor, if you don't have that support system, you can get yourself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So it's really important to find a community and collaborate with people who want to support you in making that transition.
No, it is absolutely important. I find that having that tribe and being able to reach out and be like, and jump on and be like, hey, Britt, hey this, hey that. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
That is, honestly, it's a big piece of it. Like if someone needs a deal done or someone needs this, then you got to be able to have resources. It's not all about what you know. It's really who you know.
And who knows you?
Yeah, like who you know.
Because I know Oprah, but does Oprah know me?
Who can you get in touch with that's going to help you and solve this problem for your client and get it done? Your client doesn't care if you had to ask for help. He just wants it done.
And that's the thing.
Done.
That's the thing. Having people around you that really want to support you, that really want to help you, it makes all the difference. I cannot stress that enough. I really don't think people quite understand how important it is.
No, they don't. And I think real estate has become, I don't even know. Like it's
somewhat of a trend.
Everybody's
Very trendy.
Everybody's
But that's okay. Everybody is in real estate. Everybody should be in real estate. You live somewhere, you work somewhere, you drive on the roads, you go to the parks. It is all real estate. You just got to be on the right side of it.
No, very, very true. You have to learn and know where you fit and like what's your niche and like what you're great at.
Yeah.
Me, I ended up starting my own property management company. I'm going to do that now for my clients. Like not only do I help you find the investment, now I'm structuring, okay, this is what we can do with this house. I manage about 35 doors right now with one of my investors. We do it by the room.
See, why didn't we talk about that? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, we do it by the room.
I love that business model. And especially as we move into this like more economically challenged space, that is.
I've been doing that long before everything even got crazy. What I did was, I wanted to get into the STR space. I wanted to learn so much, so I downsized. I gave up my 2-bedroom apartment. I had 2 vehicles.
Can we talk about the sacrifice? The sacrifice it takes to level up. Jesus.
All of my comfort, and I ended up, and I was like, I learned about renting, and I was like, look, I'm gonna change it.
And yet we all do it in college.
But as a grown woman, I just was like, I ain't doing it.
But it's what house hacking is.
Yes, and then I got over myself and got out of my own way. I found a room in Spring for $450 a month.
Girl,
I had storage in the house because the way the house was built, my room was super big. The house was nice. It was a 5-bedroom house. My roommates were all great. My landlord was amazing. We had a housekeeper that came every 2 weeks. But yeah, $450 a month. I lived there for 2 years so I could learn a lot. I asked my landlord to teach me and show me because he had other homes as well. And with that, I was like, all right, this time I'm going to be of value to my clients now.
Right.
So now we had houses and he's like, oh, I want to rent this house for, $1,800, $2,000 a month. And I was like,
you can't get that for.
I started doing
Traditionally, you can't get that.
I started doing calculations and selling them. So I had broke them one time. It was like, I was like, come to my house. So I broke them and it was like, oh, wow, we walked through my house and I showed them how the house was set up, what each room gets charged, and they were like, oh, this is a no-brainer. It was like, you manage it. So I was like, okay, I can do that. They're like, you want me to pay you, or like, how do you want to do this? At that point, I was like, I am no longer a realtor. Let's do this. I was like, no, don't pay me. Take care of my living expenses for 2 years. That's it. Because as a management, you make what, 10% a month?
Right.
And or if I like get a commission, a couple $1,000, build me a house at your property because they were building and stuff. And take care of my living expenses. I didn't pay rent for 3 years.
which is way
I manage your property.
more profitable.
I live rent free, so that's when I started being like, okay, I'm not a realtor. I know I'm not your everyday realtor, and I don't even want to think that way anymore.
Mhm.
Now I'm intrigued with the investment side. Like, how can I do more of this? How can I, like, keep it going? And they would just start telling me, hey, send the referrals. So now I'm like, all right, let's do it. And I started my property management. I'm like, all right, one thing turned into the next.
Yep.
And I never thought I wanted to be in property management, and then life was kind of like, each opportunity just kept taking this.
And I think we're gonna add a module on that because that was not in the original course. But I wanna dive into that, so I'm excited. Okay, so last question. The vision for the course and everything that we're working on here. I know what my vision is. My vision is to teach everybody everything. Not literally, but like that's what I love. I love educating and sharing and pulling out the best knowledge so that the people who are coming behind us don't have to make the same mistakes. What's your vision?
For me, I think it's just very similar to my own journey. I want people to learn how to stand out and be okay standing out. Like, that is really, really big for me. I think during my journey, I tried to fit in this mold of what it looked like, dress a certain way, go and smile and record, and just was like, this isn't me. Like, it doesn't come natural to me. I don't like it. I want to do different things. I don't like it. I don't do social media. I just don't. So for me, my vision is that realtors or anybody in the real estate space, be comfortable. Even if you are good at one thing, just stay in your lane and kill it.
Yeah.
And be okay with it.
And have a network that anything that's not in your lane,
Bingo.
you can have somebody to give it to.
And that's really what I started to learn as well, where it was like, I may not be like the greatest, like somebody may have like, I don't have to have $30 million in real estate, but guess what? I know somebody who do, and I can call them.
Exactly. I don't have to know how to do every deal. I know who knows how.
Exactly. And you may be trying to close a deal, and I have a piece of that puzzle because I have a relationship.
Yeah.
I have a network. I can make a phone call and go, hey, I have a friend or a partner that has this deal going on, whatever. They need bridge money. They need this. They need that. Can you make it happen for me?
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody can do that. But I think
Most
if people learn that, like the real saying, like your network is your network, like in real life. And for me, my vision is that, like, building your network, being okay, being different, stand out, stay in your lane, and stay in San Antonio's way. Like, just be okay being you.
Yeah. Love it. Well, thank you for joining us. We have 10 modules that we will be posting over the course of the next month or so. So make sure you check the description. And then we will also be doing a second interview here on Book of Brittany. So thanks so much for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. Until then, keep building.
What was we doing wrong? What was I trying to tell us?
So the lighting outside changed, so I wanted to change it to pure light, so it would be easier to color grade.
Oh, because I wanted to tell you, like, I'm trying to get you, girl.
I didn't know what was going on. This random man's coming up and like about to walk in our shot, and I'm like, what is that?
Was they bringing out food or something?
No, he's bringing somebody from the park. I just said, I'm trying to tell him, like, oh, yeah, you just go through this hallway, through this way. I think he's saying, oh, this is your food?
Yeah.
No. This is none of our food.
I was like, what is happening over here? But I'm gonna try to keep it cute.
Right, same.
Yeah, I was trying to get you to pause at like a natural place, so I could change the light.
Oh, okay.
Because you started getting really dark with that light outside.
Well, I didn't even notice that changed.
I know.
But the fact that you picked that up is good.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. How long did we do?
The entire clip was
45 minutes?
34.
Okay, perfect.
That is awesome.
I thought it was longer.
Me too. That was freaking perfect. Oh yeah, 30 minutes. Yeah, girl, I'm telling you, my life is interesting, but I just be like, I'll be doing all type of stuff.
No,
I don't have to tell people how to do it. I do this.
well, I know how to get you to explain it to me, so
Like,
I'll explain it to everybody else.
yeah, like I don't remember. Like, well, I don't remember.
This one, you need a picture, right?
Yes, definitely need a picture.